5 tips for following up after a networking event. I've been to more than my fair share of networking events, and I have made a ton of mistakes. I have learned that what I do at the event is important, but what I do after the event is even more important. When I don't follow up or don't follow up in a timely manner, I am not maximizing the opportunities that I generated at the event. So here are 5 tips on how to follow up after a networking event. Tip number 1 is that speed matters. Faster is always better. There is a recency effect that wears off. Think of the law of diminishing returns. Your probability of success will be the greatest the sooner you follow up. The longer you take to follow up, you will lower your probability of success, which leads to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is to block time on your calendar before you even go to an event. I schedule time to follow up the next day. So for example, if I have an event on my calendar on a Thursday night, I will block time on Friday to do my follow-up from the event. You need to plan your follow-up in advance by blocking time in your calendar to follow up within 24 hours of the event. Tip 3 is to prioritize your follow-up. What I do is I take all the business cards I collected at the event, I look at my notes on the back, and then I prioritize them in order of their importance. Prioritize your follow-up because every contact you make at an networking event is not equal. You will follow up with everybody, but you will follow up on your top priorities first. And tip 4 is to research the prospects online. Beyond the conversation I had and the notes I took, I will look them up on Google, Twitter, and Facebook, also their company website. If I didn't connect with them on LinkedIn at the event, I attempt to connect with them within 24 hours after the event. Do your research to help you personalize your follow-up. Tip 5 is to customize your follow-up based on the conversation you had at the event, the notes you took, and what you learned when you did your research. I follow up with an email within 24 hours and always try to include something we talked about or something to compliment them on based on my research. I include any information or article I feel might be of interest to them, and I end the email with a call to action, such as a request to meet. Follow up with an email or a phone call that anchors back to the conversation you had or highlights something you learned in your research. So what to do? Select one of these 5 tips to use to follow up after your networking event. The time is now.